Kookaburras. Hello, I'm Jill Webster, coming to you from the beautiful Blue Mountains of New South Wales in Australia this fine World Storytelling Day. Now, while I stand here and Durrig and Gundungurran land with the kookaburras in the background, I'm bringing to you a story that's come from Libya, the Sons of Sultan Bey. Once, the Sultan of Bey had a terrible, wonderful problem. You see, he had 3 fine sons, each of them good and clever. They were fine horsemen, they wrote beautiful poetry, they were brilliant tacticians. So how was he to choose who amongst them was best to rule in his place when his day was done? He decided to send them out into the world on an adventure, for he knew that when he saw what treasure they brought home to him, and when he heard the story of their voyage, he would be able to choose the best one. Hussein set out first. He took his servants and his slaves, and he travelled far, far away with a grand retinue. He eventually found himself on the plains that surround Mount Arafat, and as they set up camp that night, he felt a strange crackle of power in the air, and a humming and a thrumming that seemed to pulsate from the earth itself. And then, boom! A mighty jinni appeared before him. He was terrified, but didn't dare show it. But the jinni simply bowed before him and bade him welcome. "I offer you my hospitality, but I am afraid I have no food fit for you to eat. So I ask that you accept as a sign of my welcome some gold from my stores within this mountain." "Gold?" "Yes, gold, as much as you and your servants can carry." Well, Prince Hussein didn't wait to be asked twice. He simply gathered his servants and his slaves, and they all went with the jinni inside the mountain, and they gathered as much gold as they could from the great, gleaming, glowing piles. It was magnificent. They emptied out their saddlebags, they left the tents where they were, and simply carried as much as they could all the way back home. Well, in the meantime, Hassan, the second son, had set out. He too had his servants and slaves and soldiers too, just in case he got into trouble. And when he found his way to the plain that surrounded Mount Arafat, he was puzzled, for here were his brothers' tents and carpets and goods, and no sign of any man living or dead. And then there was that crackle of power in the air, and that humming and thrumming that seemed to come up from the earth itself. And then, boom! The jinni appeared before him as it had his brother, and made the same kind offer. Well, when Hassan and his men went into that mountain, it looked as if not a single coin had gone. It was not as if the speck of gold dust had been brushed off the side. It was so full. And he too emptied out his stuff, and he too piled as much as he could into saddlebag, into clothing, into anything. And he and his soldiers and his servants, they all struggled and waddled the long way home. And in the meantime, Prince Ali, the younger son, he set off. "Shall we bring you your soldiers as well as your servants and slaves?" "No," he said. "I will have my horse and my sword, because I am going to journey alone." But he too found his way to the plains that surrounded Mount Arafat, and he too saw all the debris of his brothers here before him. And then there was the crackle of power, the humming and the thrumming, and boom! The jinni appeared and made the same offer. But Ali said, "Well, that's very kind, great Jinn, but gold that is easily won is easily lost. I wonder if you have anything else you might offer me." "Yes, I do," said the jinni. "This was a kind of test. If you close your eyes, Prince Ali, son of Sultan Bey, and look within, if you can tell me the secret longing of your heart, then I will do my best to grant your wish." Well, no sooner had Ali closed his eyes than there appeared before him the beautiful face of the Princess of Hejaz. The Princess of Hejaz! Yes, I hear she is the most beautiful woman in the entire world. I long for her to be my bride. "As you wish it, so may it be," said the Jinn. Now Ali was very excited. He expected the princess to appear before him, or maybe he was going to get whooshed away to Hejaz itself. But no, the Jinni simply held out a ring. "Long ago I saved the life of the Sultan of Hejaz, and he owes me this boon. If you present this ring to him, then he will grant you the hand of his daughter in marriage. I don't want to make it too easy for you. After all, if you have to put no effort into love, you will not value it truly. And if she cannot see the effort that you have put in, what causes she to love you?" Well, Prince Ali thought there was wisdom in his words. He put the ring upon his finger, and off he went. He was still kind of in a hurry, though, so he decided he was going to go to the nearest coastal town because it would be faster to travel by boat. He found there a captain at the docks and booked passage to Hejaz. "Are you going straight away?" "Yes, straight away," said the captain. "We're going right now. Come aboard. Come aboard, fine young gentleman. Come aboard." Well, Prince Ali went aboard the ship, but the captain had spotted him, and his fine clothes, his great sword, and his pricey jewels, let alone his heavy purse. And the captain had decided that he was going to set sail with Ali, and there, when they were far out to sea, he was going to... "Hey, cook, come here. Here is a jar of saffron. Take it and flavour only the Ali's rice with it. It has a sleeping draught. When he is fast asleep, we will strip off his fine clothes. We will take his jewel, his sword, and lighten his purse. Then we will see what he is really worth without his finery when we sell him as a slave in a far distant land." Well, the captain's plan came to pass. Oh, when Ali woke up from a deep slumber, he found he had been shackled. He was bound by heavy iron chains to the mast of the ship. He was wearing terrible rags. Well, no sooner had the captain stood in front of him to mock, "Let's see what you're worth as a slave, fine princeling," then a storm arose. The seas grew heavy. The waves tossed the ship about. Poor Ali could do nothing. He was tied firm to the mast, and he struggled, and all he did with his struggles was tear his own flesh at his wrists, at his ankles, while the waves crashed and bashed against the ship, making a terrible noise. The ship was torn to shreds. The captain, the cook, and all the crew tossed up overboard. And Ali could do nothing. Even as the mast split, he was weighed down by chains, and he found himself deep under the water, sinking and sinking, until there under the waves, when he knew all hope was gone, he saw an apparition. A beautiful woman floated before him, with pale skin and black hair that billowed with the waves, and the tail, the silver-scaled tail of a fish. Well, she looked concerned, and she held fast to him and swam him up. Well, he swam higher and higher, and she set him down upon a rocky outcrop there in the middle of the sea, and he gasped in the welcome, fresh air. Well, this beautiful woman summoned servants, and they broke his chains and set him free. And he sat on this tiny rock as the seas calmed, and he spoke with this beautiful woman and learned that she was known as the Bride of the Sea. Well, he explained all of his troubles, and she asked her servants once more to journey forth. This time they brought back his clothes, his purse of gold, even the ring from the Sultan of Hejaz. They talked and they talked as he regained his strength, and he told her everything, this woman known as the Bride of the Sea. You're going to marry somebody. Are you sure, though? Are you sure that she is as good within as she is beautiful? Oh, of course I'm sure. Is it not said that that which is within is reflected upon the face? I'm sure she's a wonderful person as well as being beautiful. Well, if you're sure, I do think, though, it's worth testing. And I'm going to help you. Turn around 3 times, Ali, son of Sultan Bey. Well, he did so. And when he came back from the 3rd turn, he found that he had transformed. He was now a beautiful young woman himself, which was frankly quite unnerving. You go to your princess in this disguise, and you will see if she truly is as kind as she is beautiful. Let us get you to Hejaz straight away. Well, the Bride of the Sea summoned dolphins, and the dolphins carried him to the shore. And there on the shore he didn't know what to do, stuck as he was in this woman's form. But when soldiers came and asked his business, or her business, he had no real answer and was brought before the Sultan, who was amazed at her beauty, this strange woman who appeared amongst them in fine clothes. He set her at once to work in the harem of his princess. Well, when Ali first saw the princess of Hejaz, he was struck, and probably stumbled over his words too. She was so beautiful. It was like gazing upon a gleaming full moon. His mouth dropped open until... Oh! The princess pulled his hair. Don't just stand there gaping and gawping. Get to work. Fetch me some water right now. Go, 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 go. I'll have no lazy gawping women working for me. Well, Ali did as he was bid, and the days and the weeks that followed were much the same, because this princess of Hejaz, she was brutal. She pulled her servants' hair. She pinched them until they were bruised. They all hated her in front of the rest of the court. The princess was sweetness and modesty, but behind closed doors she was unrelentingly hideous. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't escape in this woman's form. He was powerless. He had no money. He had no friends in this foreign land. He was forced to stay with her. His spirit was broken. But one day, as he went to the well to fetch water in a great jar, there was a fish that popped its head above the water's line. "Well, Ali, have you found your princess?" "Yes, I have." "And is she as kind within as she is beautiful without?" "No, she's horrible. Please, please, I beg you, I can't stand one more day here, let alone a lifetime with this woman. You are right, she's awful. Please, help me." "Turn around 3 times, Ali, and you shall regain your true form." Well, Ali, quick smart, turned around 3 times, and sure enough he stood there as a fine young man, wearing rich silks, with a gold sword and a gold dagger. When the soldiers were sent to search for this missing serving girl, they saw this finely dressed young nobleman and said, "On your way, you do not belong here, off you go." He was very pleased to comply. He rushed down to the marketplace, and he saw there a beggar He took off the ring of the Sultan of Hejaz and gave it to the beggar and said, "Good luck to you. You can take it to the Sultan and do with it what you wish." He found his way to the shore, and there was the bride of the sea, ready to bear him home. The journey was quite long, and they talked as they went. And he realized that he's been searching for this perfect woman. But who was better than the bride of the sea? This woman who'd helped him with no expectation of anything, who'd shown him wise counsel, and who was truly beautiful. Well, he told her this, and they decided that they would marry. When they were married, she summoned up a ship of gold and silver to take them all the way back to the lands of Bey. And this ship was drawn by merpeople and dolphins, and when they came into the harbour, the people were amazed. What a sight it was! The sunlight shining on the water, on the gold and silver of the ship. Well, when they docked, and this bride of the sea set her fish's tail upon the land, it transformed into legs, and the people were amazed at her too. Ali and Hassan and Hussein were all summoned to the chamber of the Sultan. "Well," he said, "I have made my choice. You three have journeyed into the world, and to my two sons who brought me mountains of gold, I thank you. And I say that you will become treasurers, because if you love gold so much, then that is where you belong. But Ali, you have travelled the world alone and learned much, and in finding the very best of women to be your bride, you have proven yourself to be the very best of men. You shall rule in my stead when my days here are done." And now my story is done. And my wish for you today is that when you on your life's journey find yourself feeling nothing but aching skin, if you feel yourself weighed down with chains and drowning at the bottom of the sea, I hope that at that time you find something that is something important to your heart, and that eventually you work out the treasure that you have already. Happy World Storytelling Day!